Tiscali volunteered to visit the Tatra Mountains of Slovakia with Biosphere Expeditions to monitor the critically endangered chamois and predators such as wolves and bears. After daily 10-kilometre treks through dense pine forest and mountain terrain and a brief encounter with the local bear population, Kyley Chapman lives to tell the tale.
I'm here with Biosphere Expeditions in Slovakia. It's day one of what promises to be a very exciting adventure to find out more about the endangered species, the chamois. It's been a really long day. We set off from Bratislava, heading towards the Tatra Mountains where we're now based. That took 4 hours, and then the rest of the afternoon was spent in the classroom learning about theory, learning more about the chamois population and also its supposed predators, the bear and the wolf. Nonetheless, it's all vital for our scientists to find out exactly what's going on. Are the bear and the wolf eating the chamois? There's 8 of us in the group, and we've got 2 Land Rovers between us, so that means that we can get really off the beaten track and right into the thick of the forest. A lot of the area that we're going to be exploring, no tourists are allowed to go, so it's really quite exciting. We're going to be really off the beaten track. There's a lot to take in, but we're a good group, and yes, it's absolutely beautiful scenery, stunning surroundings, and the project is a really good cause to find out more as to what's going on with this poor chamois.
All hikes on the project were different. We varied our walking groups according to who felt like doing what on the day. Sometimes I walked on a path, other times I walked up or down stream on no footpath with just stepping stones and slushy quagmire. Most days we met no one on our walk. One time we met illegal blueberry pickers and that was it.
Well, it's been another very long day. We were up early for breakfast and then back to the classroom for more theory. We had another briefing from our scientist and our expedition leader Melanie, who have informed us exactly how to use the maps, the GPS, the compass, and basically how not to get lost in the wilderness. Great, so we're all ready to go. We set off in the Land Rovers and got dropped off at quite a sort of a very thick, heavily vegetated area of the forest. All of us walked together, and we only probably walked for about an hour, but that was enough to get us right into the heart of the forest. Ascending slowly, behind us were absolutely stunning, beautiful views, and eventually we reached the rooftop of the alpine pines. We ascended slightly more, and we came to an open space which isn't actually available for tourists, so it was quite remarkable that we were in a real area of wilderness, nobody else around except for us, and treading on earth that probably hardly anyone's trodden on before. Up in the distance we were lucky enough to spot chamois. It was brilliant. The last tour they had to wait 10 days before they found the chamois. They were way off in the distance and you could hardly see them, but with the binoculars and the spotting scope you can manage to zoom in really close and actually identify the sex of some of the mountain goats. So all in all, it was a really successful day. We had a really good hike, we learnt more theory, and we spotted chamois. What more could you ask for? So tomorrow we're off back into the forest. However, we're not going to be one big group, we're going to be split off into pairs. I'm a little bit nervous because although I feel confident using the GPS and the compass, it's the first time I've done something quite like this where you're really out in the wilderness. And also there's 50 bear up in the high Tatra.
I'd never thought of Slovakia as a destination to spend my holiday. However, the experience was amazing and I'd recommend it to anyone that wants to make a difference and contribute to a serious environmental project managed by passionate and intelligent professionals. My experience was something that I will definitely not forget and a unique and fantastic opportunity.
Today has been the most exciting day of the trip. We set off on our walk, which was supposedly quite an easy one, as the weather was supposed to be quite bad this afternoon. Slova recommended that we stay closer to the forest so that we could keep under the canopy, not get so wet. So all we had to do was follow quite a simple path, no ascending, just descending. Myself and my trekking partner were walking along, and we were just walking side by side, looking for scats, tracks, any markings of animals, predators or ungulates. And we heard, just as we turned a corner, we heard a rustling in the grass, and the general vegetation was just kind of moving quite rapidly towards our right hand side on a slope that was kind of leading further up into the forest. We both stood still very abruptly, both quite anxious as to what the noise was because it was so loud and the foliage was so wildly moving around. We were just speechless. Anyway, then I saw two big wild bears. I saw their faces and they looked straight at us. And Dave, my trekking colleague, he didn't see their faces, but he saw them as they turned round and they ran off, so he saw their backsides. I didn't actually see them run off, so I wasn't aware that they were kind of going the opposite direction, and I thought they may well be coming in our direction. Must admit, I was really actually quite frightened. I didn't know what I'd do if I saw a bear. I didn't expect to see one, but to actually see two big bears with their furry round ears, big round heads and looking directly our way, it was, gosh, I've never felt quite like that before. I must admit my heart was fluttering so quickly, and I felt like I was going to choke on it in my throat. I was actually that nervous.
Separated into groups, we took the steep climb from the small hut in Durkova to the top of the ridge, high up on the Slovakian Tatra mountain range. It was bitterly cold and the mist was thick and heavy, but we knew the hike would be worth it when we got to the top to watch the sunrise. Our pace was slow and steady, occasionally stopping to catch our breath. Visibility was low and the wind was high. We were determined and prepared and very well wrapped up. After much puffing and panting, we arrived at the top just in time. The sun burnt through the mist to reveal a tremendous view of the mountain range. Gold and red illuminated the sky and clouds blew speedily across the valley. The top of the ridge is a special place, and being enveloped in such a powerful wind and watching the ever-changing colours of the mountain range was both thrilling and emotive. And it's something that I'll never forget.